In November of 2024, something terrible happened in Novi Sad, Serbia. The roof of the train station, which was made of concrete beams, fell on people sitting underneath it or walking by, killing 14 on the scene. 3 were trapped under the concrete beams and rescuers had to use heavy machinery to extricate them. They had to undergo amputations, and of the 3, 1 died 16 days later from the severity of her injuries. Everyone in Serbia was shocked and sad. This accident made people very angry. They wanted to know why it happened. Many people thought someone wasn't doing their job or was being dishonest. People didn't trust the government anymore. After the accident, people were very sad and angry, condemning the government of negligence. They went to the train station to remember the people who died. But then, people started protesting. It started in Novi Sad, outside the railway station on November 5th, which led to clashes with the police and 10 people were injured the 22nd of November. The students at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts held a silent tribute to the victims and were attacked by the police. Other faculties and schools followed in their protests. By the 9th of March, over 400 cities and towns in Serbia held protests. People were fed up. They wanted a transparent investigation into the collapse of the building from the government and for things to change. In reference to the Edict of Milan, issued by the Roman Emperor Constantine I, the students presented a student edit containing provisions on freedom, state, justice, youth, dignity, knowledge, solidarity, and the future. They wanted a serious investigation into the train station accident. They wanted to see all the paperwork about the repairs, the contracts, the safety checks, everything. But they wanted more than that. They wanted to fix the problems that had been around for a long time, like dishonesty in the government. They wanted a better Serbia, one that was fair and honest. Students were leading the protests and were supported by bikers who came and delivered food, and then the farmers came into the cities in tractors to bring food for the students, showing solidarity for their cause. The government was under a lot of pressure. 3 important government leaders, including Prime Minister Milos Vučević, quit their jobs. The government also started investigating corruption and took legal action against people involved with the train station project. 13 people were officially accused of wrongdoing, and 16 were charged, including a former government official, Goran Vezic. But President Aleksandar Vučić refused to quit. When the teachers joined the students in protesting, he said those professors and teachers who protested will not get the first half of their salary for that month, and what they got was less than €20. He said the protests were like blackmail, and that other politicians were using the accident to get more power. He said after hearing of the protests, sediment and filth rise to the surface. He needs to take a long, hard look at how he is running the country. Consider how happy his fellow countrymen and women are. The use of brutality to squash protests is not the answer. It only takes one group to start a revolution. From a handful of students at the start in November, with the country rallying behind the students to an increase of 500,000 protesters on the 15th of March with no letting up, maybe it's time the president steps down.